is my new pet, an English sheepdog. I wish I knew what kind of hair tonic he uses. I could use some myself. Well, let's leave him for a minute because I want to show you how prehistoric man solved the housing problem.
In the spring of 1854, the people living on the shores of Lake Zurich in Switzerland had a golden opportunity. Due to a very dry winter, the level of the water had fallen so low that great sections of the lake bottom were exposed. So the farmers quickly built strong walls along the water's edge, extending their farmland by many acres. Then the rich mud from the shallow water was used to fill in the area. However, in part of the lake, when workmen tried to dig up mud to fill a new field, they encountered hundreds of logs, 7 to 12 feet long, buried in the shallows. The Swiss farmers were very unhappy about this unexpected obstacle, but they grimly set to work to remove the logs. They were puzzled when they began to dig up many large bones and even deer antlers. When the workmen found some bronze axe heads and bracelets, they brought them to Johann Eppli, the local schoolmaster. He realized that the workmen had made an important discovery. A short time later, a team of amateur archaeologists was swarming over the newly dug land, looking for material the workmen might have missed. Another group was fishing up articles from the shallow water. They had discovered a prehistoric village.
The last time I went fishing, I caught an old tire and 14 tin cans. I never have any luck. Well, let's get on with the story.
In a short time, the schoolmaster and his helpers had gathered enough material to have a good idea of what the prehistoric village must have looked like. Sometime in the Bronze Age, a group of several hundred men, women, and children arrived at the edge of the lake with their cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. The men set to work chopping down trees and trimming the branches, then dragging the heavy logs over to the fire. The logs were pointed by charring the ends into shape, then rolled down to the water's edge. From there, they were floated onto place and hammered into the soft mud with large stones. Then a layer of logs was placed on the structure to form a platform. The people were now ready to build their village. The walls were made of woven twigs, plastered to make them waterproof. The house was finished off with a thatched roof. Inside, the women and children spread clay on the floor and stamped it down until it was smooth and level. Other women were at work molding and firing large pots. Although crudely made, the pottery was very useful for cooking and storing food. The children were put to work collecting berries, wild apples, nuts, and edible roots. Others collected wild hay and tender leaves for the livestock. To us, it might seem a hard way to live, but it certainly was much more comfortable than living in a cave. Stone Age man would have considered it the height of luxury. It must have been successful, because lake dwellers' villages have been found all over Switzerland and as far away as Italy.
Pretty smart idea. One thing they didn't have to worry about was the elevator breaking down. Well, now let's see if I can teach this dog some tricks. I can tell by his expression that he's a pretty smart pup. Now sit up and beg for this dog biscuit. That's good. Now speak. Wow, you can't tell which end is which. As far as I'm concerned, an English sheepdog is a Chinese puzzle.